Hello everyone, how are we all doing today? Welcome back to my channel. Today in this video, I'm going to go over my trading journey, okay, all my experiences from the past, all the ups and downs, and really want to just give you guys a raw example of what trading journey could be, okay, and I'm going to tell you truthfully and honestly about what I have been through, and I hope that will give you guys some insight of what kind of journey you expect to embrace if you're a new trader. So let's get started. If you've been following me for some times now, you would I mentioned these a few times during the stream or during some video when people ask me. But I've been trading about 7 years now. Okay, 7 years full time. And I have been trading since 2013, 2014 or so. I think that's the time I started. And I'm very honest with you guys that I mentioned I was definitely not consistent. Okay, not consistent for the first 2+ years or so. Okay, doesn't mean that I wasn't making profit here and there, but it means that I'm not consistently making profit in a given month. Okay, and that's really uh, the key to be a successful trader, in my personal opinion, is really to be consistent in any kind of market condition. Okay, there's going to be some months or some maybe some year where you're doing well, but can you be consistent as years to come and months to come? Okay, because the market is ever evolving, market is ever changing, and if you can only be making money when we're in some sort of impulsive market like something like this or something like this, and then but if you cannot be consistent when the market is correcting like in so, then it's going to be very hard to be consistent. Okay, you're not likely to make much money, or in fact you might be losing money in all these consolidation period. And what we as a trader is looking for is long-term sustainability, long-term growth, right? So anyways, getting back to my journey, so I mentioned that I was not profitable for those 2+ years. I did was in kind of a different kind of style, different kind of strategies. I was into more support resistant kind of trading style. I was looking more at indicators. I was using EMA lines. Okay, a very common kind of indicator that people use, and I've used a few kind of MACD divergent kind of indicator and things like that. Right, very typical things that we see as a trader. Again, I repeat this that not that they don't work. Okay, I'm not here to bash on these kind of strategies or style. I'm just saying during the beginning of my trading career, I was kind of adapting that kind of strategies, and it gives me result. Okay, it gives me profit here and there. It gives me result, but I was not consistent. I was not where I wanted to be in terms of trading. Okay, and during that period of time, before I got consistent, I made a lot of mistakes. Okay, I made a lot of mistakes in trading. Okay, you can think of any kind of mistakes that if you made it before or you're still making it, chances are I made them as well in the past. Okay, and I'm very happy. Okay, let me be clear. I'm very happy that I made those mistakes because I rather learn them. Okay, I rather get over them in beginning of my trading career than to make them later when I'm trading a larger account. Okay, it's better to learn your mistake, fall down earlier in your stage, get back at it, learn what's wrong with it, and then continue on your journey. Okay, so during that time, made a lot of mistakes. When you're in a series of drawdowns, when you're losing money, the trading psychology, trading emotions come in. They're usually very negative, right? You're very sad. You're very stressful. So I've been through all that. I've been through what I see. Account going up, account going down, account going up, account dropping down. You're just in this kind of consolidation, so to speak, where you're not really increasing money, but you're not really losing money. But what you're doing is you're kind of in neutral, where you may take 3 step back, you take 2 step back, and you take 3 step, and then two back, and then two back again. You're not really advancing yourself in terms of trading. And I really dig into why I wasn't advancing. Okay, and I really think there's a few key areas that it was a turning point for me. Okay, and I'm gonna leave the strategy part last. I'm gonna talk about trading emotions, trading psychology first. Okay, I fully acknowledge what trading psychology is. For my perspective, I understand what I expect from trading. Okay, you gotta have an expectation of trading, and you gotta be realistic enough with that, right? You have to tell yourself If you're in trading, what are you trying to get? Are you trying to, I mean, everyone wants to get money, or everyone wants to get wealthy in trading. Of course, that's the very logic one. But what is your goal, right? Are you trying to compound your account to a certain point, or are you trying to be consistent on a larger account, or are you trying to really grow that account to multiple times, right? Be honest with yourself, right? And I was really honest with myself, and I was asking myself, am I the type of trader who is always going to be looking for, massive profit in one trade? Or am I someone that is more consistent, looking for consistent return, looking for consistent return from the market, get in and out, right? These kind of trade may not be as profitable, not going to give you maximum risk reward, but it will give you a little bit more less risk and then a little bit more consistency. Whereas other traders who are looking for bigger kind of impulse, bigger kind of return, there's nothing wrong with that, right? And it's just being honest with yourself what kind of trader you want to be. Okay, I think that was a question I got a lot from different people, and being honest with myself that for me personally, well, I know what I'm looking for. I'm looking for risk management. I'm looking for consistency in the market. I'm really just looking for taking 15, 20 trades a month. I'm doing a minimum 3-to-1 risk reward. That is my trading plan and risk management. I want to be at a strike rate of 35 to 40% with an average 3-to-1 risk reward. So at the end of the month, if you take 15, 20 trades and your strike rate is at that, you're still going to be profitable. And aiming to get anywhere between 7 to 10% return per month while risking 1% per trade. Okay, and that is within my whole trading plan, risk management plan. It may not sound like something that's going to be, you know, someone who show you to grow their account 20-30% a month or whatever the case, but that is how I would prefer my trading plan would be. And I'm happy to implement that consistently over a large period of time. If you can be consistently making that in a larger account, you'll be pretty well off. And I wanted to consistently do that. And getting back to my journey, this all sounds great once I get the hang of it, but how did I get a hang of it? What did I go through? What made me into who I am today? Well, a lot of people ask, is there a better way to become a trader right away? Is there a way to jump yourself into an elite trader? Honestly, there really isn't a fast way in this industry. I know the social media, I know how people generally perceive this industry as a get rich quick kind of thing. Honestly, in my opinion, because I personally been through all this, I know there isn't a quick way through it. You really just have to make all the mistakes that you're going to make, and then more, and then acknowledge it fully that you're the one who made those mistakes. It's not the market, it's not your trading strategy, your mentor, your lesson, your style. It's none of that. Okay, it's none of that issue. It's you as a trader, because ultimately you're the one who execute that trade, setting that stop loss, setting that target, and leverage that trade, whatever risk management that you implement. You're the one who's in control of that. So don't blame others, right? I fully acknowledge that if I make a mistake, when I look back at it, I'll ask myself why I made the mistake and trying to improve on it. Okay, and this is also doing a journal for your trading is super crucial. I journal all my trades since the beginning of this, and I look back at it, and that's when you look back at your mistakes, that's when you learn. You learn that, hey, I made this mistake 2 weeks ago, I'm making this mistake again today. Why is that? Is it just emotion? Is it because is it a trade that is bad that you're just taking over again and you're trying to justify that? Or is it actually a good trade but just gone bad because of probability? Okay, trading to me is a probability game. You'll probably hear this from other people as well, but really that is the sum of how you put trading as a whole. I think I got people asking me, is your strategy going to work? Is it going to go down? Is it going to go up? And my answer is always uh, based on the price action, based on the structure, there's going to be a higher probability chance. Not always, not 100%, because I fully understand that's not how the market goes. There's no strategies out there, no style out there where it's going to give you 100% strike. That's just impossible. Okay, if there is such thing exists, I think there's everyone in the world will flood into this and sell their home, right? Sell their home, put their mortgage on the line, go trade if there's that strategy that works every time. It's a probability. And that's why being consistent, making small, consistent compound return is going to help you in the long run, because every successful trader knows that you can have the best strategy in the world, but sometimes it will not go to that way. Okay, then you have to accept that it is a good trade that just gone bad, and then you manage your risk reward, you manage how much you risk per trade, and you move on to another trade, and you implement it over and over again in this large sum of period. Okay, and this is very similar like gambling. I mean, like casino. Okay, a casino will host all these table games. I used to, by the way, work in a casino, so I know all this. A casino will implement all the table games. Okay, they don't need to know that the number of times that they're going to win. Okay, they don't need to know the sequence of their winning and losing. All they need to know is if they keep their strict rules on the house games. They know they have rules in play. They need to follow it, and in a large sum of period of time, they're going to be on top because the game is favor the house. Casino holds a better what we call a house edge, right? They could be 60%, 70%, whatever that percentage is. It's higher than your player who comes to play the game. Hence, in a large sum of period of time, your 70% strike rate, which is in casinos terms 70% win rate, is going to be uh, making money at the end of the day. Okay, so that's a good example to think about, right? Do you, as a trader, want to be a player who are trying to beat the house, trying to come in, bet big and win big at one time, and often lose everything they have? Or you want to be the casino, which is the house, implement a trading strategy that is going to be a successful strike rate, okay, in a large period of time. You don't need to win every hand, but you can win in a period of time, monthly, weekly, quarterly, and that you will be consistent making the money overall, right? Successful trader will tell you that they want to be the house, they don't want to be the player in this case. Okay, so moving on to one last thing I want to touch base on is the emotion side of things. Okay, and I think this is the key to success in trading is that you're gonna make a lot of mistakes. You're gonna go through what we call the roller coaster ride in trading. Everybody gone through this. It's not just you. Don't think of it that you're unlucky or thing. In fact, you should think you're lucky to gone through it at an early stage of your career, so you know that that's how trading is. You don't want to be making a few months of profit or even 1 year of profit and then run into a roller coaster ride, and you will just blow all your profit and you're just going to be in dire strait, and trading will never be the same for you again. Okay, I personally lost money in the first 2 years plus in the trading. I didn't give up. I think that's the key is I acknowledge that I was the one who made mistakes. Whereas a lot of new traders I found is that they overtrade, they over leverage, they revenge trade, and then they blame the market. Okay, this is the key. They blame the market for their own mistake because they refuse to acknowledge they're at fault. Okay, they refuse to acknowledge they're the one who execute these trades. They're trying to find others to blame. Okay, get rid of that mindset is what made me a better trader. I fully acknowledge that I'm at fault. I was the one who entered this trade. I was the one who over leveraged, over risk, over trading, and that's why I'm in a series of drawdown. Once you acknowledge that, then trading will be at a different level to you. Okay, I also acknowledge that you're going to miss many trades. Okay, this is even when trading gets emotion. It's when you're not even in a trade and you get upset that you're not in the trade. Okay, you see a trade that takes off, and you're asking yourself why I didn't get in that trade. As that trade continued to push down, the emotion builds up. Can you imagine that you're not even in the trade? You're not even no money is at risk for you, but your mind is going through millions of roller coaster right now. As the trade goes down, as the trade goes up, you're wondering how much money you could have made or how much money you could have earned, and it didn't happen. And then the next time when you see a movement like that in the market, you're gonna try to enter that thinking that the same thing will happen, and it often take you out, and you're gonna get back into the trade, revenge trade, and you're gonna lose more money. Okay, so the mindset is has to be key here. The mindset has to be understanding that what you want from trading, right? What I want from trading, I mentioned earlier, consistent return every month, and compound my account, and I'm gonna be very very happy to see that consistently because There's so many investors out there. I'm going to repeat this. It's not about many people who got new traders who got into the industry thinking about, I'm going to turn my small amount into a huge amount. And I get this question a lot. When can, like, turning $100 into $1,000, or turning something like that, into a large sum of money? And they're asking, is it doable? Can you do it? And I always tell them about my plan and my risk management plan, and it is often a lot less than what they expected of. And hey, think about it from a broad, from a investor point of view, from a higher kind of point of view. They want consistency because they have large amount of money, but they don't want to have a drawdown of 30-40% a month, which is what most people are doing when you're trying to turn $100 into $1,000, right? That's impossible by trading 1% of risk in a few weeks or few months of time to quadruple your account in a few weeks or few months. That's literally impossible without over leverage and over trading. Okay, you cannot physically possible to make 1% return, 1% risk, and then try to quadruple your account in months. That's literally not going to happen. But it will happen if you over trade and over leverage and then taking more positions than you should have, right? Instead, think about it this way. If you can be consistent on your $100 or $1,000 account, and you can consistently show that result, there's so many firms, businesses out there that are willing to invest. Okay, there's if you can prove proven track of record, right? You can go on my FX book, right? You can go on other third-party verified sources to link your account. You can show them that you are consistent. You can show them your journal, right? There's no way you won't find investors. And when you can be consistent on an account, even if it's $100 account, you can be consistent on a $10,000 account, 100,000 account, because your trading should not change when your account gets bigger. Okay, let me repeat that. Your trading style strategies should not change. If you're going to over risk on your $100 account, that means you're going to over risk on your $100,000 account. So investor naturally wouldn't want to invest in that kind of risky kind of environment, right? If you can be consistent on a $100 account, making consistent return, then investors see you that being consistent. They want that consistency on their larger sum of account, and they will let you try out. That is really how simply it is as I can put it. If you can be consistent, you can always find larger amount of investors that are willing to invest in this risky business. Don't get me wrong, this is risky business, risky trading, but they have a threshold, they have a drawdown per month, right? Maybe their maximum drawdown is 5-8%, 10% maximum drawdown per month, which is something that they can be comfortable of. Then they think trading in general it is doable, and it is a risk that they're willing to take. But I don't think any investor would want to see their $1 million account at a drawdown of 40% a month. Okay, and that's something that we really need to understand as a trader. Okay, so last bit I want to touch on is really think about what you are as a trader. Okay, what you are as a trader. And I get this question a lot, is like people want to say they want to learn from me, or they want to kind of trade the same, and that's fine, and I try to offer as much as I can. But the point is, you need to find out what kind of trader you are. You can take what I have present to you, and you can absorb whatever that makes sense to you, but you should able to tweak that. You should able to uh, rearrange that to your liking. Maybe you have a stricter risk management plan than me. Maybe you're looking for a higher strike rate. I mentioned I'm looking for 35 to 40% strike rate on a 3-to-1 average risk reward. You're looking for maybe a higher strike rate but a less risk reward, because as your risk reward gets less, you need to have a higher strike rate. As your risk reward gets bigger, you need to have then your strike rate naturally will be a little bit less. That's just how it balances in trading. Okay, so figure out what kind of trader you are, figure out what kind of style that makes sense and what suits your personality, your emotion, your mindset is key to success in trading. All right, everyone. So I hope I addressed most of the questions here. I think most of the questions that were asked to me or private messaging me should answer most of them already in this video. But if you have any questions about my journey, my style, and everything else, feel free to comment here, and I can take a look and answer that. All right. So thank you very much for tuning to this one, and hope to chat with you guys next time. All right. Thank you very much.